All right. Welcome to ARK Survival Evolved. This is the night server, number 22 on the Ragnarok map. I'm over here at my taming base over here, which is like a really small thing. I wasn't going to make a video right now. I was just going to do some work basically on the base and try to tame some more thylacoleos. Because I think I need maybe a few more. Just a few more. There's one there. Right. 15. Nope. Better get rid of it. It's too low level, so if you kill it, something higher level may spawn. That's why you kill it. I'm not trying to be cruel. But anyway, this is the ARK Survival server. But the purpose of this video is to give a Psotoland update to Tim Cameron, who he posts comments and then he removes them because he thinks they're following him or whatever. But the truth is they know exactly who you are. They got your dossier. They know what you like, what you don't like. They've got you broken down. You're a file in a database at multiple levels. But the Psotoland update, to answer his question, is, oh, there's another one. 15. The condition is this. Bottom line is, I've been waiting for a real court session for over a year. I'm still wearing the GPS ankle bracelet, charging it for an hour every day. If I don't charge it and it goes off, they come and pick me up. When they grabbed me the first time and they arrested me and they put me through their process, they put me on a metal bench for about a day and a half. Literally, I couldn't lay down. I had to stand up on a solid metal bench. They do that to torture you because their basis of law comes from the Vatican. And their idea of the law is if we torture you and you don't submit, you must be innocent. And that issue with my back only comes back every once in a long while. So, because it really threw out my back. I literally couldn't get up very easily. I had to roll on my side to get up. But eventually it went away. I had, so it's no longer an issue. My ankle comes back now and again also, but it's not a real issue. My bad ankle didn't come from them, but it was some issue I had a long time ago. I'm still working from home. I'm barely making it. The rent and the bills are way too much. I'm paying for internet. I'm paying for everything. And it's just adding up. My mom died way back. I think it was August or July. She passed away, and she was my only real backup. If I had like a car emergency, like something goes out on the car, she would help me out. It wasn't until after she passed away and I started getting her mail and looking at it, I found out she was in debt up to her eyeballs. And she never told me the truth. She never told me the truth about what had happened and what she was doing to keep us all alive. So my status right now is, even though I don't have backup, I've reduced my spending to an absolute minimum. I've literally, I have old spices that I managed to keep with me. I'm actually using these old spices, in my cooking instead of going out and buying new spices. Something as simple as that. A friend of mine used to live downstairs at the apartment over, and he left, and he even changed his number. He used to call me every day, and he stopped calling me, and he changed his number. And he let me have all his resources there. Because he just left everything and went with his family. And I figured that was good. And then when he got there, his family pretty much rejected him. He was living in a halfway house, which sucked because I have an open room right here. He could have moved in right next to me, in this room in this apartment that I have, and helped me pay the damn rent. So he's gone, and he left a bunch of stuff behind. Pancake mix. I mean, 2 huge bags of pancake mix, and oh my God, it tastes like heaven. It's like you have heaven on your tongue. On your tongue. I couldn't believe how good that pancake mix was. So whatever he got, it was high grade, and he left some mashed potatoes, dehydrated potatoes, and I've been going through that. It's not good for me. It's all carbs. It's bad for me, but it's food, and I'm eating it. I'm eating it to stay alive, to spread out the food. And I noticed, and I'm sure all of you have noticed, and it's been on the news, that prices have gone up. They're finally starting to realize that all that free money they gave away, which I didn't get a dime of, except for the initial that supplement they gave us that we just got from the IRS. I didn't get anything for business because I don't have a business, but there's one right there. I just saw that. Basically, I forget what they're called. They were like supplement checks that they gave us. I had saved up all that money. Ooh, that's a good one. You get it? It'll do for now. I'm trying to get a few more Thylos because I got so many extraordinary kibble. There's no reason not to. But I'm trying to remember what the name of that was. It was like a supplement check or something people were getting from the IRS. So I had saved up quite a bit of those and just not spent it. And then with the court case and everything and all the hoopla, having to pay over $500 just for 1 week stay in an apartment that is, it's like a suite, just a temporary thing. It was just way too expensive. And then the cost of having to live out of a vehicle for over a week. And I had paid those people $2,000 to try to catch up on my rent, and they still threw me out, and they're still trying to get money out of me, saying that I still owe them more money. That and my insurance with Blue Cross Blue Shield didn't cover about $1,000 worth of the emergency room. So I got debtors on my ass. I hadn't had debtors on my ass, or I'm sorry, creditors on my ass, since I was in my mid-20s. Because after the fiasco with the credit cards and all this stuff, I just vowed never to get another credit card again because it's too easy to charge it up. It's too easy. And essentially, I just never got another credit card again. And I was tempted to get another credit card recently in case I get a car repair or something I need. But I said to myself, if I can't survive on the money that I make, I'm just going to have to go and live in the car again. I'll have no choice. And you know how it is. Nobody cares. Tim Cameron, who, like I said, he'll come, leave a comment, and then remove it. He's kind of like that way. He's a good guy based on his comments in the past, and he wanted a Psotoland update. So that's the way it is right now. I just paid rent on the 1st. Today is like the 2nd of December. And I went down to about $70 on my input account. And the output account had maybe 100 and some in there. And that's it. And I've done everything to stay home, save gas, save electricity by turning off the system when it's good enough. Like right now, it's good enough outside just to have the window open. I got the window open with the fan on just to save money. My electric bill, thankfully, was only $69. Because the system wasn't working before, I actually had an electric bill of $200, and the system wouldn't cool. Those guys took forever to decide whether or not they were going to come out here and fix it. It was a lot of crazy stuff. But I'm still alive. I'm still here. My cats are still eating. I'm still eating. I have electricity, have my internet, have my working computer. I gave away my laptop because I didn't think I needed it anymore. And I wish I hadn't, because if I do wind up living in a vehicle, I wouldn't mind having my laptop with me, even though it's not recommended you have it in a vehicle because it gets hot in there. I wouldn't be able to do what I need to do without a home setup, because I work from home. But the good thing is the company will allow me to go and go back in physically into the building with my own cubicle and stuff, you know. So it's not too bad if I wind up living out there again. I can join a gym and do the traditional van life thing. But the one thing that got me last time is, like I said, and I told you guys in other videos, I was living in my vehicle and I didn't have any freedom of movement. I was stuck there, so my friends had to bring me food and stuff like that. I couldn't go down the street to get anything to eat because of the way they restricted me, which is unrealistic and evil. It's really fucking evil. You know, telling people they can't go off and pay a bill, or they can't go off and just go get some food because they're hungry. You have to call in a day before to schedule whether or not you go out to get something to eat the next day. And it was always no. They were just horrible and abusive. And you know, it depends on who you talk to. Like, some were nicer than others. Like, one was very strict according to the rules, and I was afraid to tell her I was living out of a vehicle. And I just couldn't believe it, that I was afraid to tell the truth to an officer, because the officer was going to get mad, and who knows what she would have done. These people are there to terrorize you. They're worse than the, you know, I've never had any kind of incident with what they would call, you know, let's say, well, anyway, I'm not going to go there. Let's just back up from that. It's bringing up some bad memories. I don't want to go there. But the truth is that I'm not living out of a car. I'm still in my apartment. I have an open room. I don't think anybody's going to want to rent it because I have cats and it's not the cleanest place in the world. You know, I could try to find somebody, but, you know, I have a lot of equipment here. I don't want to wake up with my throat slit with some person that I don't know very well. I was hoping to get somebody from church, but even then, some of those people, they'll like to impose themselves on you just because they can. You know, if you get too close, people will attack you, project their frustrations out on you, blame you for things that they did to themselves, you know, stuff like that. If you give them advice, 9 times out of 10 they don't listen. Just things like that, you know. So the way I see it, I'm just grateful I managed to pay the rent. I'm not spending any money. I'm minimizing everything. I'm going through all that miscellaneous food, like I said before, and I'm stretching out meals. I'm trying to get more meals per buck, which is the best thing to do. I'm trying to stretch out my cat's food. And I got several cats. Oh, that's a nice one. There we go. That's a 140. So I'm trying to stretch out my cat's food, and I'm trying to not waste anything, not go anywhere, no gas, save electricity, everything you can think of. Because I work from home, I'm going to spend electricity. It's a given. We do have a system that works. Thankfully, they swapped out that system, and the system is a very efficient one. $69 for a whole month, to me, is a miracle, because I was expecting over 100. Now every dollar matters. So I'm just thankful. I got a working computer. I got a brand new chair that is in good condition. Somebody threw it out. Somebody threw out the chair, and I went out and I grabbed it because it was brand new, and it was a little big and hard to get upstairs, but I got it up here. And yeah, it was miraculous that I even got a chance to do that. The chair that I made was a real bad idea. Apparently, I'm just not that good of a chair designer. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't anything that I would say should be done. Let's see. All right, I just got to stay away from the edges. It can't get me in here. Let's see, this was 130. See, I'm inside, so it can't get in. I'll call him Disco. It was a Thylo named Disco. Oh, it's a female. Damn it. I hate it when you can't see the keyboard at night, man. There we go. Disco. Oh, I forgot a cryo. There we go. Let me get this done first. I'm sorry. I'm still giving you the Psotoland update and whining a bit. Okay. I'm going to get that one into the trap, and then I'll be able to trank it. Ouch. Yeah, Thylos can do a lot of damage. You got to be careful. There we go. Got to get a good angle on that. Let's see. Ouch. Oh, he got me back. Okay. Alright, so anyway, now I can go ahead and eradicate this little shit. So besides taking measures to try to survive in the financial realm and just cutting back as much as I can, I've come to the conclusion that I have to find a way to make more money on the side. And I should have done more about that than anything else. And I didn't. But I'm not going to quit on that or anything. It's necessary. But you got to understand, I work for people that are like self-made millionaires. People that built their company up. They followed what somebody else did. And then before you know it, they got good at it. Ooh, there we go. All right. They got good at it. That's a what? A 140 female. Okay, I thought it was a guy. All right. So they followed somebody else's example in a particular type of business. They were a manager. They started out as an employee. Then they became a manager once they learned how everything worked. And then they went ahead and started investing. And before you know it, they started buying out the original owner, one store at a time, buying the stores. And then that man owned everything. That's how I saw this guy progressing. Now, I found someone I tried to emulate, but she goes off real fast, and she's going to websites and doing things that I'm not accustomed to. I'm not used to that. So it takes me more time to learn that. I'm older. I'm no longer a spring chicken. You know, when you're young, you can pick up anything real fast when you're young and react pretty quickly. But when you get older, you start to slow down. And you start to maybe forget a few things here and there. You know, just kind of like, not quite 100% aware. So what I have to do is just kind of break down those vids and then analyze it. I need to do a full-blown analysis of that methodology to make money. And if that methodology doesn't look like it's going to work, or I don't think I can pull it off, then I have to move on to a different method. And there's other methods that you can use to make money online, because I need that supplemental income. So what I got to do is just hang in there. I'm thankful that I got to pay rent this month. It was $1,000 and some for rent. And I got that spare room looking at me like, why don't I have somebody in there to help me pay the rent? And it's like my sister, she was supposed to move in with me. She was going to move in with me, and then all of a sudden, she gets up, she leaves, she's apologizing, and she's telling me, you know, that she's sorry. She's telling me she's sorry about that. And she says she's going to leave, and she just leaves. It turns out there's a lot of drama there that I don't know what to do with. I honestly don't even have that kind of relationship with anybody. I don't. And I don't know what to do after a while. Kind of like my mom. My mom would go off about my sister, but I don't know what the issue is. I really don't get it. But what I do is I just try to be a good brother, right? I say, okay, yeah, you could stay overnight and so on. I try to be a good guy about it. But ultimately, it doesn't really resolve the issue. Okay, what are you tamed? It's already tamed. Okay, so what I can do is I can drop you there. All right, options, choose name. See, can't get me. I know, right? It's crazy. Ooh. Yeah, I just woke up, so all the thylacoleals refreshed a little bit. I'm trying to get as many of these samples as I can, and then I'll go ahead and see what I can do. $135, huh? $135. Oops. One second. Jeez. You're not going to get me, bro? I'm trying to get it to run. That way it can get away from the cage. Aw, damn. I went down. It's outside the cage, but it's too close to the cage. Damn it. See, I made a bunch of extraordinary kibble, and I'm trying to use up the kibble. I still got 34, so that means I can have another 16 thylo. No reason not to. But anyway, I need to break down those videos, and I have to do that. I have a bunch of other things going on in game. That's all I do is play my game. That's all I enjoy is my game and my cats. I don't really care about anything else out there anymore. Basically, what I learned is that the more I think about the negative shit in my life, the more it opens a portal directly to insanity, negativity, every negative thing you can think of, really. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep my mind close to that and focused in on things that are much more productive, much more pleasurable. And it's not that I don't care about the future of humanity. It's just that I know that I'm not in a position to do anything about it. I can feed cats. I can't help people. I can barely feed myself. So, oh shit. My bad. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just relaxing, being thankful I have enough money to pay bills. My check is supposed to come in. I'm going to check to see if it's enough. The bottom line is I've never been in a position where I make less because I get paid every 2 weeks. I make less than my rent for those 2 weeks. So in other words, I get paid, I think it was like $9.90, something like that. My rent's over $1,000. It's like $1,100 and some. And that cuts into it. That means I have $700 to live on. And a couple of hundred is going to go on bills, and the rest has to go to other minor expenses. Food, which has gone up in price, is now biting me in the ass. Me and a lot of people in this country. I'm not the only one. So I have to do multiple things without resources of significant value and still stay on a budget for an extended period of time, which is, you can whine about it if you want, but it's a challenge. Starting a business, learning how to do business is a challenge. Learning how to make money off the internet is a challenge. My diabetes type 2 is a challenge. All these debts that I can't pay is with creditors is not a challenge because they can't come in here and kill me if I can't pay. I told them I dispute all those charges and that's the end of it. There's nothing else to be done unless I actually make some real money. You know, you have to have money to pay. And for those of you who don't know, my relatives are just not altogether there. They're not loving, kind people that are going to take me in if things go bad. My sister wouldn't take me in, but she wanted to stay with me. You know what I mean? My sister, well, not my sister, but my, I guess, mother-in-law or whatever, didn't want me in his home because it's not his home. He didn't want me there, living there. And I told him, I said, at this point I was living in the car and I was desperate. And I told him I could just tell him I'm living there, but I can sleep outdoors in the vehicle. I don't have to go inside your apartment or your home. I could just, you know, I can run an extension cord and live in the vehicle. The vehicle can just be parked there with an extension cord to give me shore power, electricity, and that would do great. That way I get electricity, you know, later on I can try to figure out how to get a small air conditioner in there. You know, at that time I had resources to do things like that. I had a little bit of money left over at that time. I just couldn't afford an apartment. It was too expensive. And they wouldn't let me do it. They didn't give a shit. Their priority is themselves. Their priority is, you know, am I, you know, will the guy that owns the place have a problem with it? You know, nobody needed to know shit. I'm just here parked here. You know, I had the windows blocked out and everything. Nobody would know shit. You know, so people will take, but they won't give back. And even some of my friend who comes over He bought me Netflix for a couple of months, like a gift card. He went ahead when I was living out there, outside of the apartment after they kicked me out. I went ahead and I was sleeping there, and I was trying to stay alive, and I couldn't get any food. So he was nice enough to come by, and he'd bring me a burger. And I swear I never ate a burger so fast in my life, because I was starving, you know. Even that guy wouldn't let me stay in his apartment. He was afraid, and this is what he told me. But what if they find out you're living there? I don't want to lose my apartment. All fear. Fear-based decisions. And I go, look, I'll just take a corner. I'll just take a small corner so I can sleep there. That's it. That's all I need. All my other stuff will stay in the storage, because I had my storage, remember? I had my storage. And all my stuff was there. There was no reason to worry about that sort of thing. Oh, damn, I got my gun out. How'd my gun come out? Alright, yeah. You see that big gun in the way there? But he was too afraid. And that's what I notice about people. When I go back, you know, you can mentally go back in time through memory. People were just afraid, selfish. They didn't care. They weren't compassionate. When they were, it was always to their convenience. It was never a real big sacrifice. You know, I noticed. I let my sister stay over. I didn't even question it. And, you know, it's just, people will take, but they won't give. After a while, you realize that not only is it's true what they say about life not being fair, it's much worse than unfair. It's cruel. It's like this whole reality is cruel and unusual punishment for those who have good intention. And after my wonderful experience at Bexar County Jail, that wonderful 5-star hotel, that if you want an experience, that's one thing that'll wake you to hell up. But, you know, you just realize that man is not a good person. Man in general is an evil beast of the field, a selfish thing, unworthy of salvation, is putting it mildly. Ooh, did I get a shotgun? Yes. 403%. That's a good shotgun. I keep that on me. And some other, I don't know why I have wood on me. Okay. Anyway, you need good shotguns if you're going to do anything in caves and stuff. But anyway, I'm just thankful I'm alive after all this shit. I lost everything. I'm down to $70 on my input account and a few hundred extra just in case. But I'm thankful I'm alive. You know, I thank God, the creator, the universe, whoever the fuck still cares that I'm alive. And not going to worry about it. You know, it's just... Is that a Perlovia? Jeez, that was a level 20 Perlovia. Damn thing. I'm just trying to maintain myself despite the horrible economy that's out there and all these other factors. I noticed that they make fear-based decisions out of ignorance, and they make situations worse. They don't really contribute to a solution. Everybody's pretty much corrupted and selfish and cruel. And I used to feel bad because my mother would guilt trip me as a control mechanism and then laugh when I would feel guilty because she liked to be evil that way to me. A lot of people are that way. They think that you owe them something or that you have the resources to help them, and you really don't. So I've broken it down to don't make fear-based decisions. Don't make decisions out of ignorance and fear. don't waste your time with negativity. It's going to be counterproductive, regardless of what you think. Whether you're righteous, self-righteous, unrighteous, bored, it doesn't matter. It's not going to help you. So I don't even allow my thought process to go there. And then the more I thought about it, whoa, oh no, hold on. Yeah, that damn thing will push the animal into the mesh if I'm not careful. Yeah, it happens. I saw these things. One of them pushed a. Ooh, that's some good stuff. Pushed a alpha carnosaur, which is a pretty powerful beast, right into the damn mesh, and I couldn't believe it. My mouth was open. I couldn't believe how it was. It actually pushed him into the mesh, and he just disappeared, gone. One time I had an animal. I was carrying an animal, and I landed without letting go of the animal, and the weight of my wyvern pushed it into the mesh, and it just disappeared. It disappeared. That's how powerful this game could be in the wrong way if you're not careful. But anyway, I'm going to go check the other drops. So anyway, that's the way the human race is. Selfish, cruel. And I never saw it before. I was never so desperate in my life. I was never so desperate. I really did live up to my name. Soto Desperado. I was definitely desperate, a desperate man. And nobody cared, man. Now I know why you have homeless. Now I know why there are people out there that are living under the bridge out of a tarp. Now I know why those people are trying to justify living the alternative lifestyle of the van life, trying to stay outside of paying rent, just trying to keep enough money to stay alive. And it's just silly. This is absolutely absurd, absolutely silly that they are in those positions. It was a fiasco. I think I spelled that right. Bottom line is, when I went back and I did the analytical thinking, looking at not just my behavior, but the behavior of other people, they just suck. And you want to sit there and think in that type of negative fashion, but that's not my problem anymore. I realized that the salvation of man really was never my problem. It was a burden I thought I could take up, just the same way you would pick up a shovel to dig a ditch. But once I picked it up and I started digging, I found out it is not that easy. You just keep digging until you reach hell. And I did. So I have to focus on me now, just as much as everybody else normally would focus on themselves. And I have to be just as selfish as all these other people. And now what I have to do is what I always dreaded. Open a business at some point and do all the tips and tricks that I remember. Because over the years, when you work for a business, you learn a lot of things. You learn about how business really works behind the scenes, okay? There's all kinds of things they do that normal, regular people don't do and don't think like. When you think like a business owner or a manager or an accountant, for example, it's not the same as if you're doing it as a regular person. So I'm going to have to pull out every single trick I know. As far as, I thought that was another shotgun. That would have been nice. Another shotgun. I get a lot of harpoons for some reason. I don't know why, but I do. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to review as many ways that I know of to make money, make as much money as I can on the side. My objective is to leave my job because my job has never really gave me a significant raise. They gave me like a 5-cent raise and said, there, like it. And I've been there 4 years. So this job sucks. My friend Saul, he said, John, they don't pay. You know, that's why I left. They don't want to pay. There's no money there. They don't want to pay. And I'm like, okay, you're right. But he wants me to go find another job. I'm like, you want me to go learn a different job that'll pay me more eventually, but in the meantime, I got to learn a different job, and I got to go without paying the rent, and I can't go without paying the rent. I can't wait another month for them to decide to pay me. You see, in the old days, when I had a couple of $1,000s in the bank, that's enough money to pay for a whole month until you can get paid again. There's a big interruption there that you have to compensate for. My mom could have helped me if it was really that bad, but I don't have a $2,000 in the bank. I have $70 in the bank. So what I got to do is I got to grind this out. I got to grind it and grind it on the side quietly and get it done. That's the only way. I don't have another choice. I noticed that if I even think negatively a little bit, it blows up into this huge out of proportion thing that really doesn't do you as a person any good. Oh shit. How did I get all the way? Oh, I skipped one. I have to go back this way. I skipped one of the pods or one of the drops. Let me go back this way. Anyway, the point is that I have plenty to focus my energies on. I need to get that extra income. I need to do it through the computer. I need to go ahead and get serious about that. I looked into retirement. It turns out you can't retire till you're 65. 65. Where is it? Is this it over here? Is this it? Yeah, that's it. There it is. Phew. Thought I lost it again. Here we go. So I'm 50. I'm not 65, so I can't do jack shit for a long time. It's not something very dependable. So I'll put that. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just research that and go down that path. But I don't want to even think negative thoughts because it'll be a distraction. It'll be something that will destabilize me. I notice that when I dwell on any negativity, no matter how evil or how wicked or how great or small, it's just another open door to a pit. And you basically go down a kind of possession road where you give yourself over to that negative shit. And I don't want to do that ever again. I have to stay within my own good, if anything else, and just shun the evil as much as I can. It's always good advice to do that. And all that, that's fine. But a lot of people don't want to see it that way. Oh, I must have passed it. Oh, there it is. I did pass it. And that's it. I got to make investments on the side, make that money. I got to get enough money to make up the difference. And once I start doing that, things will look up. The only problem is that, well, I'm going to have court on the 5th of December, which is coming up in a few days. It's the weekend. It's Friday. So I have to call it in on Monday. I also have to get the car inspection, which is like $80 plus 40, so that's $120. I have to hope I have enough money to pay for that. So Monday, according to what my lawyer said, if things go well, they may dismiss the case on Monday. And hopefully everything will work out. And then I can focus on getting that extra money. That's what I plan on doing the entire month of December, because I am not going to open a business and start officially with a business at the tail end of the year. It's December. That would be crazy, because then you have to worry about taxes for this year. I just want to finish out the year laboring, regular work from home with my company. And then next year, after I've learned those methods, I'm going to employ as many of those methods as I can and open a business, probably register with the local Chamber of Commerce, and just proceed from there. It's just going to be a supplemental work from home business. Once my business takes off and I learned how to invest properly, the next step is to just make as much money as I can till I can break away from my job. Then I can do that full time. I still know how to scalp stocks and things like that. So, I'm going the wrong way. This is the right way. So, that's my plan. That's Psotoland right there. And we'll find out on Monday whether or not I'm free. I'm tired of wearing this ankle bracelet, the ankle thing. But it's that, the thing is, the way they do the thing, in the old days, if you paid bail, you can just walk away free. And then you go to court. And now they're putting ankle bracelets on people. And they're trying to charge me for this. I'm down to $70, and they want me to pay $500 a month. I mean, I couldn't afford that. I mean, I got creditors calling me, wanting their money for medical, for that rent thing that happened when they evicted me. I mean, shit. There's just no way I could do it. Anyway, I think I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to rest up and I'll just keep going. Yeah. So I'm doing one day at a time, trying to be as cheap as possible, stretch out food as much as possible. It's too expensive nowadays. Trying to, I have to get the car inspection. It's actually due in December. So from what I understand, if your car inspection is due in that month, you have that entire month to get the inspection and to pay the sticker. So the cops won't look at it and try to give me a ticket. It'll be that month. That month is included. So I have the time to do it. I have a little bit of that money left over, so I'm going to pay for that. And I'm just going to continue to, plan for starting my business next year and learn all those techniques, go through all those websites, and just apply the shit out of myself as much as possible. And I can do real good once I learn the system. If you don't know the system, you can't even extrapolate or conceptualize what the potential of a system is. If you don't know, how to lay bricks on the side of a house, how to brick a house up, and you never done it before, it's just going to be all mathematics to you. It's not going to be anything more than that. But once you start going through there, you start learning how to cut the bricks, how to settle them, how to make them straight, keep them in a nice straight line. You can very easily make a crooked wall if you don't know how to make it correctly. And that takes time. So by the end of December, the idea is to be ready for January. By the end of December, I should know everything I need to know about at least one methodology to make money on the side. I'm hoping to stretch my money enough to where I can still pay my bills and still, survive. And hopefully everything will work out. That's all I got. That's the update for Psotoland. Monday is court. I'm going to take the day off. I got 10 hours and 15 minutes left of PTO left. 10 hours and 15 minutes left is what I got. After all this hoopla from this last year, that's what I got left. I had to use all those hours to go do stuff. But After that, I find out whether or not it's dismissed. If it's dismissed, they'll set me up with an appointment to get rid of this thing. The inspection, all that, I have to do it Monday because that's the only PTO time I have left. Those guys are closed on Saturday, but if that happens, if it goes bad, then I'll just go ahead and go to like a Pep Boys or something during the week, or not during the week, on Saturday. I'll find somebody open on Saturday and try to do it there. And that's it. I'm trying to keep my cats fed. I'm trying to keep everybody alive, including myself. I keep taking my diabetic medication, and it does help to stabilize me, but it's not a long-term solution. I've been doing a little research on the diabetes, and it's just not something you really want to go through. There's natural remedy. There's natural cure. If I was able to afford that $300, $400 juicer like I originally wanted, I'd be able to juice more and get those nutrients. But now, because the prices have gone up, even juicing to try to restore the nutrients that you lose, that your body needs to heal, it needs vitamins and nutrients. Not the pill crap. The pill crap doesn't help you, but the natural stuff, the natural juices from fruits and vegetables without all that fiber, that you don't need all that fiber, that helps. You're getting a boost when you do that, a real natural boost. Your body likes that. And you can't even afford that anymore. That the food is too expensive now. I would have to be really well off to be able to do that. And so that's it. Now this month is the last ditch effort to, prepare for January. Come January, I have to go over there and start my business. If it turns out that the case is not dismissed and they want to make another court date and they want to continue, dragging this out for the next 2 or 3 years, because there's people that are waiting in line for 5 years, then guess what? Come January, guess what I'm going to do? Still going to open my business. And I'm still going to go ahead and make that extra money on the side, because that court is not making money for me. They just want to take money. And I need money to survive. I need more money. I just don't get paid enough money. I basically am getting minimum wage because the company doesn't want to pay. They're cheap. They're cheap. They just don't want to pay. And that's how they make their money, is by being cheap and costing me time and energy and labor for under wages, and I'm barely making it. I mean, I was homeless, and the guy knew it, and they still wouldn't pay me more money. I was literally homeless, and they still wouldn't give me more money. They did let me charge the jackery in the business. They said I could just plug it in there. That's fine. Which is great. But a lot of these people, they don't want to go all the way for you. Whether it's a business or an individual, like my friend or my sister and my sister's husband, I guess. They feel sorry for you, but they don't really help you. None of these people really help you. And so that's why, I kind of wash my hands of the salvation of man, because man just doesn't care about himself or others. He just wants to be right all the time, wants to dominate, wants to be cheap. It's all sad and pathetic. That's why, when I came into this world, I saw money and I saw business. I didn't like either of them. I didn't like the concept of business and how they do things, and I didn't like money. Then in the Bible I read it was the root of all evil, but people are still working with money. They're still working with the root of all evil. And they just don't want to change. Kind of like this court. The court doesn't get better. It doesn't get more efficient. It doesn't get faster. It doesn't get more reasonable. It gets worse. They make the penalties worse. They don't really reach out to people and try to heal them from whatever's afflicting them. Try to change them, not change them, but reach them at an emotional level so that they want to comply. They want to be good law-abiding citizens. Instead of trying to give them a deterrent, they should give them a reason for doing that. A reason for, catering to that. But they just... Ooh, that's a nice... Equus. Yeah. So they just... man doesn't want to change. Man really doesn't change as far as I could tell. Hasn't changed at all. Over decades, generations even. And I said to myself, well, it's time to back off from a ministry that, I've never really been backed up. I don't know if you notice, but if somebody comes up and says they're a minister and God anoints them, God gives them money and resources and power in the world. God never anointed me like that. And I kept acting like I'm a prophet or a man of God, and I'm not. I'm just some dude that really had a lot of faith, trusted, and just thought he was somebody that he wasn't, apparently. If I was that kind of person, I'd be like Creflo Dollar, man. I'd be rolling in it. I wouldn't know what to do with it all. Hey, guys, go ahead and give to my Patreon so I can get me a brand new, I need a brand new jet. Creflo wanted a brand new jet. The old jet's not good enough, so he wanted a brand new jet. I'm down to $70. He wants a brand new jet, dude. You gotta admit that's damn funny the way this reality is. This place is a joke. Dark magicians are in absolute control of the courts. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced that they are all satanic. Ooh, look at that. I'm convinced that they are not interested in being anything even remotely close to a human. I'm sure that they have their own perspective, like I don't know if you guys watch Tony Stark Refat's work, but the guy basically has no problem cursing everybody else and taking all their good away. It's like if I put you in debt and I take away all your money at the same time. That's what it's like, based on his description. And they have no conscience about it. And when I was younger, I had nothing but conscience about charging people. I never wanted to charge anybody. I never wanted to disagree with anybody. I always wanted to be liked. Basically, I have my mom to thank for that psychology, because she molded me into this slave, because she knew I wasn't going to become anything if she abused me enough. But it turns out that behind my mom not only was mental illness and diabetes and all these vulnerabilities, it turns out that my aunt said that my mom was like that since she was a kid. She was never anything but, drama, yelling and screaming and getting mad all the time. And I think I inherited some of her anger management issues, but I got to tell you, I got to have some discipline, and I can't let it get that far anymore. I can't even afford to get angry about anything. Like all these things I'm talking about, I'm talking objectively. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm not crying. I'm trying to be logical and objective and give you guys a good update on Psotoland. That's the purpose of the video. But these are some of the things that go through my mind, how I feel, what I think. And it's not fair as far as I'm concerned. It's just not fair. But, whatever. Life goes on. I'm not going to die if I can't feed my cats. I'm not going to die if I can't eat so much. I just go reduced. Some people only eat twice a day. Okay? It'd be a late breakfast and a late lunch. That's eating twice a day. That saves you a little money on food. You can also do a lot of carbs. In my case, it's not good, but it's possible. And like I said, I'm eating up all that. Oh, he had 2 big bags of that pancake mix. Oh, my God. I swear. I put some milk in there, a little bit of cinnamon, because I love cinnamon. And, Oh my God. I put butter while it's cooking. I put butter when I flip it over, and then I put butter again. It's a lot of butter, but it was so light and fluffy. And it was so, oh God, it was so perfect. I wish I could record that and put it here through you so you can taste it. This is that good. That's how good the pancakes are. I noticed that when I eat food, I taste it a lot more. Okay, these guys are ready. That's good. I consolidated my Rexes. They're at about 271 or so. The only thing I didn't put on there was oxygen because they really don't need it. So I'm going to forego the oxygen boost. They're not going to go underwater, so don't need it. But, yeah, I taste food better now. I taste food like it means something to me now. Food really does mean something to me. And I'm just thankful for it. I'm more thankful every day. I had no idea my fellow man was that kind of piece of shit. I mean, I knew you guys were assholes, but I didn't know you were that bad. Had I known you were that bad and you were actively and openly, this goes in the wrong spot. Actively and openly enslaving each other, it's obvious that this thing that happened with the court, the way they do it, it's just a form of slavery. They send somebody out with guns to force you into slavery, and if you don't sign the documents, they make your life hell. But the thing is, they make your life hell anyway if you do sign the documents. It's just like the Vatican. You're a witch if you drown, you're a witch if you don't drown. You know? People are shit. I mean, and they still don't have any fucking evidence. After all the thousands of dollars that they cost me, and the fact that they want to charge me for this goddamn ankle bracelet, they still think, oh, well, we're gonna get something. We're gonna get some evidence. It's been over a year and nothing. So the way I see it, this is slavery and it's torture. And frankly, you're not my people anymore. I don't know who the fuck you are. None of you. I never signed up for this shit. I had no idea that it was this way. See, the only one who has the right to torture the fuck out of me is my mother. And she did that for about 35 years. And she got away with it because she gave me life. You guys never gave me anything but bills and excuses. That's the way I see it. So that's the way we stand now. I'm not mad because I realized, why get mad over things? I think this goes, yeah, it goes there. Why get mad over things you really don't have any control over? I don't have any control over people. You know, it's like the guy told me, if you don't have control over anything, you know, if it doesn't occur inside your apartment, you don't have control over it, right? And he was right. So I just stick to myself now. Now, I'm trying to be the nice guy about all this, despite all the negative shit. But I'll tell you something. I never knew that you guys were so soulless. I never knew that a judge could be so fucking soulless. That the system, that police officers were soulless. I had no idea you were just a bunch of fucking monsters. A bunch of animals. The 13th son used to preach something to that effect, but I never believed him. I said, nah, people aren't that bad. Now I see that the ghetto preacher was correct. He didn't lie. He wasn't wrong about anything. Yeah. So that's how I really feel about it after all the horrible experiences I've been through. And I bet your bottom dollar that my experiences that I've been through is a pittance compared to some of the other people in this world that have fallen prey to the justice system and to other people's deception and demonic spirits and mental illness and all this other shit. I mean, it's just horrible. But I kind of laugh. You know why? This is what's funny. You got to look at what's funny so you don't get depressed, right? This is what's funny. The funny thing is, if I was a real bad guy, if I was a son of a bitch, anywhere close to what other people think I am, I wouldn't care what any of you fucking think. I wouldn't care enough to respond to Tim Cameron. I wouldn't give a shit enough to make a video. And I would have so much fucking money right now, scamming it off everybody, taking it by any means necessary, being an asshole. That's the kind of person I would be if they were correct. But I'm over here, I'm down to $70. Barely paying the rent, barely alive, and I still have my integrity. You know, the scriptures are right about one thing, guys. This is a scripture. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give me my integrity, and the world can't take it away over torture, pain, suffering. I'm not going to waive any rights. Too many people died so that I can have the right to a fair and speedy trial. And they've already proven that they have no case, they have no evidence, they have nothing. It's been over a year, and they have no conscience. The only thing they've proven is that they have no conscience whatsoever. They're not human, whatever they are. They're not my people anymore. You don't put me in a box and then turn around and call yourself my people. That will never happen again. Yeah. And there was a time I would get angry. I would get mad. I would have a tantrum, right? Get a little upset. Not going to happen anymore. Not worth it. Because I realize sometimes the problem can be you, but sometimes the problem is the other person or persons. Sometimes the other person is contributing and they just don't want to believe it. My mom used to play that game with me where she would have a tantrum. She would get angry over whatever, something happened, whatever. And she would blame me for it and talk to me like I did it. Like I was responsible for that shit. And I wasn't. Oh, man. This one was good. I got triplets. I got twins. You see the ones on either side of the red one? Those are twins, right? I got those two twins. And then I got triplets. These three here. I got real good luck in this game. And I've got it to where I got everything. Health, stamina, food, weight, melee. The only thing I don't have is the oxygen, but I don't need it for... They're Rexes. Why the hell would they need oxygen for? They're not going to swim underwater and go attack a shark. You know, so I left the low oxygen on there. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh, man. I've been waiting for these guys to grow up for a while. So what I'm trying to do, now that I have 271 as my target level, I'm trying to get a male 271. These are all females. And the male is this red one here. Are you ready to breed yet? Ooh, 4 minutes. 4 minutes for her. She's ready to breed. Okay. So what that means is if I breed this red one, this male, he's got only 3 of the 5 stats. If I breed him with these other 5 ladies, I have a good chance to get a male with all 5 stats. At least get a male with 4 stats. You know, because in reality, he's only lacking 2 stats. He's got 3 out of the 5. So the chances of me getting a male are really good in this one round. I mean, it's not, you know, ultra okay, but it's good. The rest of these females are lower level. This one's got 4, 3, 3, 3. They got lesser of the stats. But I put so much work into this. I'm very proud of them. I don't have tech engrams at all. None of them. So that's why I have to kill a boss, and I decided to kill the Methapicapus. Methapicapus? It's the big monkey. It's the giant monkey. Okay? The giant gorilla. That's the one I have to go for because I have all the artifacts. I have all the tribute that is necessary for it. And I can choose. I could even do the alpha version. But since these guys, they have very low melee compared to what I've seen. Their melee is only, 361? That's not enough to do an alpha. That's too weak. That's the only problem with these guys. But I can do the gamma because I have good enough saddles. And I might lose some of these guys. I might lose them. But it's worth it just to get the engrams. And that would be my first boss on this server cluster. Remember before I did the Manticore, and that was interesting. But anyway, back to the update. I'm just going to keep trucking. I realized if I get too attached to everything and I lose it all, it's just another way for them to torture me. It's just another way for them to hurt me. And they've been hurting me my entire life, these people. Not through the law, but through work, through what I deserve. There are certain things I should have, and they convinced me that I was not worthy of it. They convinced me that I didn't deserve good things. They convinced me that I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. They rejected I earned a bachelor's degree in computer information systems, and they put their nose up in the air at me, and they basically say I'm incompetent, that I'm ignorant, that I don't have any skill, and they wouldn't even give me a chance to try and prove myself. They just said no, and they went on with somebody else who told them whatever lies they wanted to hear. There was a lady, I'll tell you the story. There was a lady way back when I was in college. She was making a resume. And she said, I got to put this skill and I got to put that skill. And I go, do you know all that? Because I was looking at the resume, and that's a lot of skills. Do you know all that? And she goes, no. And I go, why are you putting all that? Well, so that I can be, what they want me to be. So she was willing to just outright lie on the resume to get whatever professional job she wanted. And I go, really? Well, why would you need to do that? What if they just like you? Maybe they like you. Maybe they have faith in you. And it turned out that was the worst advice or anything I could have said to anybody in that position. Because the companies are full of yes men who will tell their bosses whatever they need to hear and do whatever their bosses say. Managers have no problem torturing their employees in the name of progress, results, or anything to that effect. That's the problem with this country and this world. They have no conscience whatsoever. At all. And after a while, you're like, well, if you don't have a conscience, I guess I can loosen up mine. Because you don't care if I starve. You don't care if I can't pay rent. You don't care if my babies starve. You don't care if my car breaks down and I can't fix it. You don't care if my bills don't get paid. Your love don't pay the rent even if it was real. That's the way it is. That's the update from Psotoland. Soto's got to get a little bit more tenacious if he wants to live. And like I said before, I have a plan for inside the box and I have a plan for outside the box. The plan that I'm sharing with you is the plan outside the box. Assuming the Lord honors his word, and I did get the word of the Lord, the actual word of the Lord. It wasn't a mistake. I thought it was maybe a mistake, but it wasn't. And once that's taken care of, I'm going to go full steam ahead. I'm going to go forward like the devil himself is chasing me, because I need to get this issue resolved. My mother didn't want to do it. She was in debt up to her eyeballs. My father quit on me. He was useless and never there. All my other relatives were useless. My friends, mostly useless. You know, it's just hell. These people are dangerous. Based on the abuse that I've received, based on the treatment I've received, they are treating you like you are property of the state and convicted of whatever crime without actually doing due process. They are breaking the law. They're doing it as a community. They're doing it as a community, and that's why they're getting away with it. They're doing it as a community. It's okay to break the law if everybody's breaking the law, and that's what they're doing. The lawyers are wards of the state or wards of the court, so they are only obligated to obey whatever the court says. And if the court decides to break the law and not follow the rules, then they're going to go along with it. Even my overpaid lawyer is going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do whatever they say. I thought we were in a country where you can stand up for what was right. It turns out if you stand up, you get sniped. Okay? Unfortunately, it's just not what I thought it was. It's much more vicious. Oh, shit. Makes you not want to bother working or being part of the community anymore. Makes you want to just live on the streets and eat out of a garbage can. Really. Just fuck it. Eat out of a garbage can. You know, wash yourself whenever you can. Just be a bum. Live out of a backpack. Beg. Beg for food. Beg for, you know, why bother? That way you don't have to pay rent, you know. Fuck it. That's why I want to do the van life for a while there. But if I'm going to make money off the computer, I need the internet and I need a secure connection. Eventually, I have to get a VPN because without a VPN, you're not really secure, frankly. But, yeah, that's what's going on. You have the plan for outside the box without getting into too much detail. The plan for inside the box is going to be whatever I can get to work when it happens. And that's it. Because this people, if they can torture you for over a year without even presenting evidence, without doing due process, and they can put you on ice for a year, that's a totalitarian government. That is not freedom and democracy and rights. That's totalitarianism. They're so used to pushing everybody around, they had the gall to throw me in a box for a year. You got to understand, guys. I'm in jail. I'm not free. I am in jail. I'm in jail. In a box. A steel and concrete box with nothing. Starving. Because they don't give you any goddamn food there. Yeah. It looks like I'm out here free, but the truth is I'm not free. I'm in a box. They put me in a box for over a year. No evidence. Taking their sweet time. Yeah. That's your country for you. That's your country. United Stadia. Used to be called America. It used to be called America, but now it's United Stadia. Welcome to the corporate government that owns you as human chattel property, whether you're in a steel box or not, whether you're accused or not. Yeah. No wonder my old boss, that self-made millionaire, no wonder all he gave a shit about was money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 and sharks. That's all he cared about was money. You know? I couldn't believe it. That guy was obsessed with money. Well, if I had enough money, I could have a house out there in the middle of nowhere, have it built in the middle of the land with plenty of distance between me and everybody else, and I could be nice and free and isolated and live how I want to live. If you have enough money, you can have any lifestyle you want. You can go hiking, you can go skiing, you can go into outer space with Elon Musk. You can do whatever you want. And I never believed in money. I never believed in business. I believed in trying to serve people and save people's souls. And what good did it do me? I feel betrayed by everybody, by life, by people, by the system, by society in general, by my own parent. Betrayed. And you know what? That's fine. The only thing, all that is fine as long as I don't get mad, as long as I don't get sad, because that could lead to depression. And depression could lead to suicide. When I was younger and my mother was wailing on me all the time, I did almost commit suicide several times because it's dangerous. It's dangerous to get in somebody's head, destroy their dreams, tell them that they're nothing and nobody. That woman wailed on me. Wailed on me. Nobody came to save me. Nobody came to comfort me. Nobody cared. They just wailed on me. And then I went out there and people saw that I was kind of weak. So you know what they used to do? As soon as they figured out that I was kind of weak and not really defending myself very well, they would go poke at me and accuse me of shit. Just because they could. People would get bored, and so they used me as entertainment. And then I was playing along thinking, well, I can be entertaining. I could be funny. I could be like a prankster. And you know what the truth is? They don't care. They don't want to laugh with you. They want to laugh at you. That's the sad truth. But anyway, I think I've put enough of the good stuff out there for you guys. I think you guys are going to be... Oh, is that a light? Let me see. Oh, it's a red drop. That's nice. I'll wait here for it. Anyway, the point is that everything's going to be fine. If the worst case scenario happens, it happens. Until then, I'm going to make decisions outside of fear, in faith, in love for myself, as perfectly as I can. And I'm going to let it go. Because I've had a whole life of trauma and terror and horrible things, fear, abuse, neglect, basically torture. And then they made it more physical. They got physical with me. These people got physical. They got worse than the diabetes. And they have no conscience because they're trained not to have a conscience about torturing and abusing the people under their care. They're trained, the police officers are psychologically conditioned to be that way. What did I do? Oh. That's how they're trained. That's how they think. And the sad thing is it's not fair to them too. I don't think it's fair to them. I really don't. I wouldn't want to be a cop. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a cop, a fireman, and a scientist. Those were my chosen professions that I like. I didn't get to be any of that shit. But I'll tell you something. If I could go back in time and become a cop, I wouldn't. Because it's a corporation. It's not a government. It's a corporation pretending to be a government. The United States, not the United States government, the American government was literally destroyed. They killed it because it wouldn't it wouldn't allow them to have the level of control they wanted over the population. So they got rid of it. They condemned it. They took away all the gold, which was your source of power. Gold is power. And they took away control of your resources. They put the fucking Native Americans in the reservations. It's a miracle they even got that land. You know, they did so many horrible things. And these same people that slaughtered the Native Americans, destroyed all of these indigenous cultures with their culture dominating by force and deception, are running the system, not just the judiciary. Other things, businesses. They're all businesses. They're in the business of justice at the point of a sword. And that's it. So what I will do, most likely in the long run, to extend the plan, is eventually when I get enough money, I'm just going to become a Moor. I'll find somebody to take me in as a Moor, or someone to take me in as any other fucking nation. Because America's my home and my country, but the United States is not my nation. The United States stopped being my nation when they put me in a box and dishonored me for over a year. They dishonored me. But yet they demand that I honor them. They demand that I give them honor that they would not give me. So I owe them nothing. And that's it, man. You get tired of this nonsense. Nonsensical. They're not going to be fair about it. They're not going to be right about it. They can't. They can't afford that. That would be a waste of resources, you know. To them, you're just an asset. You're something to be used and thrown away. There's nothing fantastic about you. You know. Unfortunately. So anyway, that's where I'm going to end the video. It's an hour and 26 minutes. This update was for Tim Cameron, who wanted a Psotoland update. I think I've gone as much as I could into everything. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comments area. Make sure I see it. Don't delete it immediately. I wouldn't be afraid of that sort of thing, guys. And that's it. I'm hoping I get this case dismissed, open a business by January, start making that extra money I need, because the economy is going down and I got to try something to get ahead. And that's it. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just going to focus and redirect my energies and just, you know, I'll come up with that plan, adjust it as I go, a little bit at a time. I've done all the analysis I need to do, except for the business part. I need to do that. Focus on that this month. Be ready by January. Move on with life. See what I can do. I never got married because I never made any money. I never made any money because I let people kick me around. I let these people pay me garbage money. Minimum wage. I let them get away with it. It's time to move on. Time to get out of that fantasy where working for a company is going to be worth my time and effort. It was never going to be worth my time or effort. In the old days, when I was young and into computers, when computers were still simple, what I should have done is I should have just opened my own little business. And I could have been my own little geek squad too. That's all I had to do. But anyway, have a good Christmas. Have a good holiday. Have a good life. I love you all very much. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you all who bother to take the time to listen to my sad little stories and the challenges that are coming up for Soto Desperado. You guys take care.